best SEO experts to follow in 2025.
He has ranked successfully 46 different times with online casinos.
I'll name you, but I'm not going to name you just now because otherwise it gets a bit sobby, doesn't it?
Nah.
Obviously.
He's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he does a very good job when it comes down to testing the algorithms of what is working and what isn't.
I'm not listening to Cal's talk. It's always like a bit of a story, always grabs your attention.
Jorge is unbelievable at the semantics and digging deep in topical maps, and I just see every one of the sites going.
I know he's also done a lot for people in the industry.
You're going to start encountering some sort of problems with regards to the culture of the business.
We've never had any issues with the Filipinos. Probably one of the best devs you can have for automations. Hi guys, it's Carl from Searcher and I'm joined today with James Dooley. So, in today's video we're going to chat about the best SEO experts to follow in 2025. Obviously it's mid-2024. We're very active in, masterminds in various different networking events across the world. So I think it's quite a relevant time to mention, SEO experts that we should be looking to follow or currently following into 2025 with the whole age of AI and all the new algorithm updates and things like that. So we're wanting to find experts who we know are working day to day within SEO, ranking websites, testing the search engines and algorithms. So Dooley, off the top of your head, let's just try and rhyme off some different guys and then we can dig a bit deeper later on.
Yeah, right. So, best SEO experts to follow for 2025. So, first and foremost, if I didn't do this, you'd shout at me. I'm going to throw your name in the mix straight away. So, Carl Hudson at Searcheroo, I would strongly recommend people to connect with you on Twitter, LinkedIn, and now YouTube. You've now started to become a bit more of an influencer. Previously, you've always been building brands and not done too much for your own personal branding. But I would mainly say, if anyone's looking to follow Carl, he has ranked successfully 46 different times with online casinos. Now, sometimes you could fluke ranking in the online casino space with a one-off site. I'm not saying you can fluke it, but you might go and get some decent backlinks that you didn't realise just how powerful that there was. You might follow the same type of content outline and go and do it, but Carl's done it 46 different times. So definitely needs to be someone that I would follow in 2025 as being an SEO expert. So now over to you. You can do and name the next one.
I'll name you, but I'm not going to name you just now because otherwise it gets a bit sobby, doesn't it?
Nah.
Obviously, we've got like the likes of, so for Black Hat SEO, you've probably got like Charles Float, still very, very active in the whole Black Hat scene, as well as, Craig Campbell, who's done quite a few suspect talks and a few devious little tactics and things. So I would definitely be hitting them guys up on, the very active social media. I know Charles has a very active Gumtree account and YouTube account, etc. And so does Craig, obviously getting his 1 million subscribers recently. He's just got his trophy for.
Yes, he's got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's scaling. He actually tests a lot more than what people think. So he's continuously, obviously, on talks with people like Randy Road, who does a lot of like press releases. He's always speaking to people like Holly Starks, who's always looking to break the algorithms and see what you can do with not just web pages, but ranking in, let's say, within Amazon, ranking images, ranking videos, and he's continuously on a week-by-week basis on with Chris Palmer. Chris Palmer's another one to throw out there for local SEO and Black Hat that people should be following. He's very, very advanced, and he does a very good job when it comes down to testing the algorithms of what is working and what isn't. So obviously you've named a few there. So away from Black Hat, there's some, I'd like to name a few people that whenever someone does a list of SEO experts to follow for 2025, the names that would pop up would be people like Rand Fishkin, Neil Patel, Aleda Solas, Lily Ray, Now, these are all good SEOs, and initially there was the OGs like Yoast Volk, who set up Yoast SEO. What an amazing WordPress plugin that it is. But for 2025 SEO experts, you also want to be trying to throw a few, I'm not saying new people, but people that are doing well on affiliate, rank and rents, lead generation, e-commerce SEO. And there's a few people that don't get a big enough mention. So I'm going to throw one out there that he has got a massive following on like YouTube, but he's only really kind of followed via the affiliate marketers, it seems. That's Matt Diggity. Matt Diggity needs a bit more praise. He's the founder of Chiang Mai SEO Conference, the Affiliate Lab, Lead Spring. He produces content every single week on his YouTube channel that's cutting edge. So he's definitely someone I would say is an SEO expert to follow in 2025.
He's a very good dancer as well. So
good dancer, yeah. Is anyone else that you're thrown into the mix?
Yes, I would say obviously from an on-page SEO perspective, you've got the likes of Kyle Roof. He very much goes on to. I love listening to Kyle Roof's talks. It's always like a bit of a story. It always grabs your attention. Kyle Roof, and then you've also got Corey. Now, Corey, if these two people couldn't be more opposite when it comes to the talks, obviously, because Corey goes into such a level of detail, it is quite hard to, stay fully focused for the 45-minute session. However, the details have all kind of been confirmed from algorithms and things like this, and it's just such high level and definitely worth. He's a nice guy. He's a sort of a nice guy. I wouldn't say that. I'm not going too far into it. But these two guys, obviously for on-page SEO, I believe Kyle, Page Optimizer Pro's tool, he's always testing algorithms. I tend to think I see Kyle more as a local. He's very, very active in like the local side and testing the algorithm that way. Whereas Corey, I would say he's definitely more of a national SEO, if not international SEO. He does different languages and things like that. Well, what about domains, Dooley?
Domains. So just on the point of on-page SEO. So the Page Optimizer Pro is a great tool with regards to edge analysis. Some people think that Page Optimizer Pro is just correlation of content, but it's not. It's edge analysis, which is that what needs to be done to win in the SERPs. So that is a great tool. It's got a few features like Watchdog. So if ever you drop in rankings, it can alert you to say there's been an intent shift and you need to be changing part of your content. So that's great. So Kyle's a tester. Kyle's good. I would actually say Kyle's good international as well. I think he's a very good, an all-round SEO. He can do it in local lead gen. He can do it in affiliate space. He can do it in the affiliate marketing space. Corey is unbelievable at the semantics and digging deep in topical maps, topical authority, doing like semantic triples, talking about the source context of your site, building proper semantic content networks, the macro and the micro semantics that are needed. So I'll not blow your mind because I'll be honest with you, a lot of it goes above my head. A lot of the niches I'm in, it's not needed. I'm in a lot of local spaces and it's not needed, but I've been in his Google Search Console and I just see every one of the sites going boom, 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 boom.
I've never ever seen a search console like it, if I'm being honest.
It's so impressive. It's so, and do you know what? He gets a bit of grief in the industry because people say he tries to overcomplicate things, but he actually doesn't. He's just very, very intelligent, and he just says the words as they should be presented. He doesn't add any extra fluff into it. He just tells you this is where the painting comes from, and this is the linguistics and the semantics of how you should be doing it. The fact that I'm just
defining the terms that people come up with, like make-believe terms to try and educate the masses, but actually he's just defining the actual terms of what it is.
Exactly that. The part that just because I'm partially retarded in content, I just wind him up and say like, "Oh, you're making this up," but he is very, very good. If no one's done the course, go and do that course if you want to learn on page because it's by far the best course there is out there.
From a business growth perspective, I would definitely say follow James. He's been on a bit of for the last probably 2 years, been on a bit of a crusade on tackling his own personal branding and obviously stepping into the limelight a little bit, because we're very much both had a very similar opinion of, just work away in the trenches. But James is great at business coaching. He's probably considered to me more like a brother, but I would also say like a business mentor. If I have anything business wise that I need to run by him, I often run it by him. And I know he's also done a lot for people in the industry, where people just come up to him randomly and ask for business advice and stuff like this, and he's very quick to give it and never really expects anything in return, which is obviously, it's great. It's not always great for James, but it is a great great guy to have on your sort of side.
I appreciate it.
I feel a bit sick now though.
I think another one to follow with regards to business, if you're looking to scale your business, we'll throw into the mix Mad Singers.
Yeah.
I think Mad Singers is a great guy. If you've only got 4 or 5 staff, you don't need to speak to Mads. But if you start getting to a point where you're starting getting above 10, 12, especially 15 members of staff, you're going to start encountering some sort of problems with regards to the culture of the business, the hierarchy, because now you can't deal with more than 50. I'd say you can't even deal with more than 10 members of staff. So you need to then start setting some middle management in place. And this is where Mads can help you scale. I don't know if you can expand on it further than that about Mads.
Yeah, well, we used Mads when I was involved in the gambling business, and it was great for us. He had a team in the Philippines at the time. I think he primarily works now South Africa, which I dare say would probably be even better again. But we never had any issues with the Filipinos. He helped us align a good working strategy with them, and we had middle tier managers and things for keeping an eye on holidays, all of this sort of, all the mundane stuff that really you have to offhand this, because you can spend all day focused on all the mundane and the sort of HR side of the business and not actually focus on the growth of your business. So that's, I think it's kind of vital when you chat with him. And a lot of SEOs are more entrepreneur, and they don't like speaking out, they don't like sharing things. So sometimes there's that trust issue. But he helps coach you through that, and then you start to understand, actually, even if I outsource this and it gets done 80% correct or 60% correct, it's still not on my shoulders anymore, and can then be, that 60% can start to accumulate very quickly when it's done multiple times. Whereas when it's on your own back, it can be a little bit, more daunting.
Yeah, for sure. I think with regards to, you touched upon before about the domain aftermarket. So where to buy expired domains or aged domains. For me, the two people that stand out is Callan and Alex Drew. But in my opinion, Alex Drew just has it sewn up. His quality control measures are just on another level. So over at ODYS, if anyone's looking for an aged domain or an expired domain, check out ODYS. Alex Drew's done an amazing job. What's quite interesting is the amount of people that shares a private mastermind with Alex Drew and then comes to me and say, wow, Alex Drew is so much more than just a domain guy. Because I used to think years ago he was just a domain guy, but he's super intelligent in business as well. He's somebody else that understands just basic things for business people to understand, but so many people don't seem to get it right, like lifetime value, average transactional value, sales funnels, aftercare sales, and just things like that of what he just does to perfection. So he's definitely an SEO expert that I would recommend to follow in 2025, mainly because if you're looking to potentially build a new site or get an aged domain, if you can get an aged domain, it's like you're going having a 100-meter sprint, but you're getting a 60-meter head start, and it's just going to give you a better chance to go and win that race and get yourself to number one. And that's where I think aged domains, even expired domains, as long as they've got a clean backlink profile and it's relevant to what you want to build the site out for, aged domains and expired domains still work great. Forget what Google leak tells you. Trust me, they're still working very, very well.
I would say one other guy that we probably should mention, then we maybe we'll reel off a whole bunch of them because there is a lot to follow. Obviously, it's a big industry. I would say for website recovery, big shout out to Kazra. You know, he often goes on stage, he talks about website recoveries. We know he's recovered quite a few websites with, you know, our brands that we work together on. So yeah, Kazra's top guy, and I believe he's just started his own sort of mentorship group where you can pay monthly for and things like this, and you get little bits of knowledge from him and weekly webinars and various different experts coming in on there. So yeah, top guy for website recovery as well.
Yeah, I think website recovery is so important nowadays. I think the amount of penalties that people are getting, manual action penalties for thin content, for pure spam, for unnatural link penalties. Now, obviously, the big one for us is unnatural link penalties is kind of where we excel in because we own Backlink Doctor and we're able to do the disavows and be able to get people out of an unnatural links penalty and then follow upon the disavow to do a link rejuvenation pack, which I also think if anyone ever gets an unnatural links penalty, the most important part after you've lifted the penalty from Google Search Console is getting yourself a link rejuvenation pack. If you don't do this, it's like you're having a heart attack and the first meal you go back to, you go and getting a massive big double cheeseburger. You've got to go and get some salad and eat healthy, right? So make certain you're looking at that link rejuvenation pack afterwards. If you don't know how you're doing an unnatural links penalty, leave it to the experts. There's a lot of moving parts than just doing the disavow. You need to be outreaching to your existing backlink profile. And this is why using somebody like Kazra that does it day in, day out and uses our team to be able to implement what's needed, that's for an unnatural links penalty. But the next big one, so many people have been hit with the HCU update, the helpful content update. Now, there's not many, if any, that have recovered from it. But one thing that I would say about any of these experts that we've mentioned is if you go and ask them what the number one thing is that you would you would give advice to your 16-year-old self again, it would be to network at a younger age. Go and get yourself in the inner circles to the people that are testing and that are doing well within Google algorithms or Bing algorithms or YouTube algorithms, because they're the ones who can start telling you what's working. Not any of the myths or not any of the information that was shared 5-10 years ago. These are people testing today. So the networking with the SEO experts that we've got in this list of 2025 is also very, very important.
I would also say on that front is actually do some of the tests yourself as well, so you can contribute in these groups, because you know we do a lot of networking, and often you go in and you see people come in and they're only there to try and take knowledge. You get more respect out of these groups and better connections if you're actually able to give knowledge as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is expensive for people to be running their own tests, but yeah, if you can enter a room and be sharing value, guess what? You're going to get invited back to the room with those people. If you sit there and don't say anything and don't share any knowledge, I can pretty much guarantee you won't be back invited in that mastermind again. You'll get booted out. And a mastermind is there for everyone to try and level up. You need to come with some sort of knowledge. So if you're not at that stage yet, go and do everyone's courses. Go and try to learn from what blogs they're doing and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the YouTube. And then hopefully in time, once you start earning some money, you can start running some other websites where you're running certain tests and pushing the boundaries of what can work and what can't. So obviously I'd like to throw your name in though, Carl Hudson, as well. With regards to website recovery, you've recovered a lot of sites. So I know I've already thrown you in there, I think, but as an SEO expert to follow in 2025, if someone's looking for website recovery, I'd definitely say to get you. But mentioning a few other names, because I've got a list here on my computer. I've got Steve Tough, SEO Notebook. If anyone's not subscribed to SEO Notebook, where have you been hiding? Steve every single week goes and does a note, and it's packed full of knowledge bombs. So head on over there, get subscribing. It's completely for free. SEOnotebook.com. Steve Toff is another great guy who's testing. He's definitely an SEO expert that I'd throw out there to follow in 2025.
I would say Kevin Indig.
Yeah.
Kevin Indig is a guy that, especially from an e-commerce SEO perspective, he's a guy that you want to follow. He goes really in depth. He's very active on his LinkedIn more than anything else, but he goes very in depth on, just general top level knowledge of e-commerce, how things are running efficiently, what they could be doing better, etc.
Yeah, and then you've got others like Barry Schwartz, who more reporter, journalist on SEO type blogs. You've got Cyrus Shepherd, used to be a Google quality rater, rater, and he was the SEO strategist at Moz when he used to work alongside Rand Fishkin. You've got Gail Britton from Authority Hackers. They do a lot of testing. They've got a very lively community in there where people are always testing things out. So
I would probably say Ferry as well. Ferry Kazan.
1,000,000%. Ferry Kazan.
For digital PR, probably one of the best in the industry. He's very much put digital PR in the limelight, made it very easy if you wanted to try and do it yourself. He explains, he literally gives you all the tools you want or need, answers all your questions to go do it yourself. He's very open and honest like that. And some of the links in some of the videos, and the people have probably seen videos by him, like funny little sketch videos and things that just attract links day in, day out.
I think if you're mentioning digital PR, I think you're going to have to mention then Carrie Rose at Rise at 7. She's made, what Ferry said to me was, Carrie Rose has made digital PR sexy for SEOs. And then when he says he's industrialised it, all what he meant is he's made it cheap. He's being able to put tools together and make it cheaper, because all as SEOs are right tight gets, and we want it as cheap as possible. So Carrie Rose is more of a premium. She'll go out of her way and do bespoke kind of campaign. Amazing, the digital PR campaigns of what she can put together. Very, very good at expert commentary, almost like link inserts into existing articles of what you can do. Scales it out, does a lot for in the iGaming sector and stuff like that. But yeah, he's the most creative entrepreneur I've ever met. He's definitely someone to follow, specifically for digital PR in 2025. One or two others to throw out there, like Spencer Hawes. He's got Link Whisper, Niche Pursuits. He's a great guy. Link Whisper's a great tool. And then another one I'd throw out there is Jason Barnard, the brand SERP guy. So very much about knowledge panels. CaliCube is an amazing tool that can help you get knowledge panels as long as you can connect the dots with regards to you as being an entity and pull everything together with schema. It can also tell you where you're missing to be. Go and do a podcast on this specific podcast. Go and get yourself as being an author profile on entrepreneur.com or on Forbes or Inc.com or whatever it is that might be needed specifically for your knowledge panel. So he's very, very good at branding and controlling your brand SERP.
Awesome. I think a few more just to mention, we've got a few other businesses, and Julian Goldie, absolute awesome guy, bit of an OG in the industry, just not, I guess he's just not as well known as the others, but he's definitely been doing a hell of a lot of brand, especially since the dawn of AI. He was pretty much the ChatGPT guy when it came to SEO. He's one of the first in there, but absolutely, if you ever get the pleasure of meeting him, he's an absolute awesome guy. His processes are slick. Everything's just processed to a T, and his back-end SOPs are great. And then a guy who I think doesn't get a lot of mentions as well is probably Leo or Lefarius. Now, anyone who's met him in the top-end circles very much, absolutely love him, because he's a very, very cool, pragmatic mind, probably one of the best devs you can have for automations, things like this. But he just does not. He's a typical dev mindset, and you try to bring him out of his closet a little bit, but he likes to be sat back on his computer, just programming type thing. But yeah, he's top guy. Terrible at massages though.
Yeah. The but on terms that you two mentioned, so Julian Goldie, very, very, like you said, very good at automation, very good at leveraging artificial intelligence. So for anyone that's going into 2025, you need to be looking at automation and artificial intelligence. Julian Gold is definitely someone that you want to be following for that. And then the fairy Sulas, or Leo, as a lot of people call him. I can't stand him, hate him. No, I'm only messing. I've got several businesses with Leo. He's a cool guy. He's very, very good at automation as well. Very good Python developer. Understands, wants to automate everything. At times, I'm like, he can't automate that, and he just automates making my tea or brushing my teeth or any. Do you know what I mean? He can automate anything, that guy. So no, he's another, like, goes under the radar. But again, if you're wanting certain things to be set up, Leo is your guy for that. Like, he's helped me no end in scaling the back ends out with regards to some of the brands and stuff like that we've set up.
I think what we'll do now, because I know the video's going on, because there's obviously, you can see we know quite a lot of people and we know what they do, how they can benefit you. But what we'll probably do is just very quickly name some that we haven't mentioned. So Cyrus Shepherd, obviously top guy. I believe you've met him at a few conferences before, James. Tim Solo, obviously Ahrefs owner, another nice guy and worth knowing. Brian Dean, although probably a little bit more removed nowadays since the SEMrush purchase.
He's still got Exploring Topics, which is a great tool for new trending kind of keywords. That's a good tool. So Brian Dean's definitely someone to look out for on trending topics.
And I think that's about it. We've
got certain others like Nathan Gotch is a great guy. So he's another one to throw out there. Jason Hennessy. But he's very, very specific to like law firm SEO. So he'll only do SEO for lawyers. So there is plenty of others we could start going out there. But like you said, we're just going to end up naming hundreds of people that's out there. So
3 hours later.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our list for who we think are the best SEO experts to follow in 2025. Now, I'm sure we have missed some off. So you let us know, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know who you think that we've missed off, that we might not even know about, to be fair, who's absolutely crushing it on search engine optimization. Because then it could be someone who we need to understand that we need to be following for SEO, specifically in 2025 and beyond.